Hi guys, this is the Ordinary Man, Step by Step, episode 29. We're up to. Again, just quickly for anyone who hasn't tuned into the podcast before, my name is Tommy Courtney. What I'm doing is I'm documenting the process of what it takes / what I'm doing to get an idea that you had and convert that into a successful business. So that's essentially it. So the company is called Property Basecamp. What we do is we connect relocated employees with the best available rental accommodation in their area that meets their own individual and unique needs. That's essentially it in a nutshell. So I think the last podcast was the start of the week. I'm starting to lose track actually of when I'm bloody doing them. I started doing them every day. But now I only get to them every couple of days. That's a little bit of laziness on my part. It's just a little bit of busyness on my part. But yeah, I do like doing them because I get to vent a little bit. So what have we been up to this week? Again, I'm losing track on days because we're literally working every day under the sun. Thursday, what have we been up to? So again, lots of meetings this week. I think last week was a short week. So on the meeting front, it was fairly quiet. People on holidays. It's August, obviously. People on holidays anyway. But the short weeks anyway, it's difficult to get people nailed down for meetings. So not a whole pile, I don't think, of meetings last week. This week, very, very different. So we've met with again, more prospective clients. We've brought on another couple of clients in the last 2 weeks. A couple of really, really huge clients. A couple of smaller niche organisations as well, which is great. So we have them up. We've just actually today renewed our agreement with one of our existing clients, which is so important for us. A really, really big company. They've been brilliant to work with up to now. They really get what we're trying to do. They get the constraints, I suppose, that we have at times. Some things out of our control, but more importantly, they get where we're going with it as well. And it was funny the way we were chatting today, the vision of what we have. Or what we and where we want to get to is exactly what they want, which is great. So that was really good. Again, a bit of a confidence booster to get the guys to continue on board with ourselves. Other than that, again, lots of meetings. Caught up with Alan from the NDRC again, just have a chat. Again, I need to find out if these people don't mind me mentioning their names, but I'll say Alan anyway because you won't know who it is. But had a good chat with him again. Very, 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 very helpful meeting him. Very, he's a lot of knowledge in the area of startups and things that we need to be working on. And again, I think he sees where we're going with it and sees the potential. As well as what we can do now, but more importantly, the potential of where we can get to, both regionally here in Ireland and abroad. So that was great. Always well worth the chat. Met with an insurance company on Monday. Insurance is so exciting. Met with an insurance company on Monday. Met with Robert and Ben. They're working as well on they've a new product themselves. A lot of experience in insurance and investment banking. Hoping to do a little bit of work with them from the property management piece that we're looking at doing. So really, really nice guys as well. Just had a good chat with them again. Very down to earth. So that was very, very beneficial. So we're going to keep in touch. We've been doing more and more interviews. We've got an open position at the minute for business development / marketing role. I'm not just saying this either. Everybody's been brilliant. Like, they've been really, really good so far. Some want to focus on one particular area of the business. Others very much generalists who want to learn everything. Hard to know who we're going to go with yet. We're still are interviewing. The tomorrow I think we've got a couple, and then into next week. So that'll be really, really difficult to break that down into who to bring on board. Actually blown away by the interest we had for the role, and trying to get back to everybody with actual feedback, like not just generic sort of feedback. I think it's very, very important to give that feedback, and I'm actually surprised I'm still getting through, I suppose, people, so I apologise if I haven't got to them yet. But I'm trying to give individual feedback, which is a lot because we had 120 applications. But I am trying. I'm getting through them at, I suppose, a decent pace. But I want to give actual practical feedback to these guys, because it's something that I probably didn't get for any roles that I would have went for whenever I was younger. And to be honest, I'm probably that thick that if anybody, you do get that email, say if you want any further feedback, then let me know. I generally turn my nose up and say, "Oh, fuck them," excuse my French, and don't ask for the feedback. So I've been actually surprised by the amount of people who have asked for feedback, and I'm trying to give actual, I suppose, detailed and practical stuff that they need to be doing. Not that they need to be doing, just things that I think they should be doing, I suppose, that will make them stand out. It's all about attention. It's all like, it's hard to explain sometimes why we pick people over other people. They just stand out. Sometimes it's hard to know why. It's just about doing something doing something different and not being afraid to do something different. A little bit like these podcasts, like it's a bit, I suppose it would have been a little bit daunting at the start because nobody was really doing it, especially on LinkedIn. Still nobody's really doing it. But I've got a lot of positive feedback from it, and a lot of people, I suppose, tuning into it. And it was funny actually. I met with a friend. I was in the bank yesterday, and met with a friend who was meeting somebody else, and it turns out that this lady who I didn't know has been tuning into the podcast. So that's really exciting, isn't it? So, but yeah, it's just trying to do something different. Like, that's all. It's just trying to grab the attention, and so that's sort of the feedback that I'm giving to people. For example, I suppose I could give it now. Like, if one of the feedback that I give, so people just submit CVs to these jobs. Like, as I say, there's 120 people actually applying for the job. Like, it's very tedious work trying to review 120 CVs that look and speak the exact same. And to be quite frank, that's boring. So like think outside the box. Like once you submit an application, why don't you create like a 30-second podcast and attach it to your application and say, "Hi, I really, really, really like what the company's doing. I love the area you're working in. This is what I can do. I'd love to get your feedback." And that's different. Like, that makes you stand out. You do the same with the video blog. You could stand in front of a camera for 30 seconds and say, "Hey, I just submitted a role for the role, blah, blah, blah. This is why I think it'd be good for the role." And just do something a little bit unique. Like, hiring managers are people at the end of the day. Like, they're people. Like, there's nothing magic or anything about that. Like, you just need to try and stand out and excite the person that's actually going to be reviewing your CV. I'm telling you here now, reviewing a bog standard CV and a Word document is not exciting at all. It's the opposite of exciting. So just little bits and pieces like that are feedback that I've been given. So it'll be interesting. Just really looking forward to bringing on whoever we're going to bring on anyway. So that's from that side. Again, lots of responding to emails and calls around around our service and the people that we're currently helping. With a large amount of users actively looking now for accommodation via the app and elsewhere. So it's very interesting to see the feedback that we're getting. Some are having brilliant experiences, and some, let's be honest, not so much. But we're following up with them and making sure we're refining what we're doing and refining our I'll say loosely processes, because we don't have any processes. Speed for me is the process. Just do it. Refine, rinse, repeat. It's very, very simple. So that's been interesting to see the feedback there. I've made contact with a couple of people as well who have been struggling. I've done that just to see if there's anything else that we can sort of help with or guide them with, or any sort of nuggets of information we can provide. We're trying to do that. So that's been the week. We also had we got some great exposure yesterday. Actually, Emer did some great work, PR work, getting Silicon Republic involved in posting an article about us. So they posted a couple of articles over the last couple of weeks around the issues with accommodation here in Dublin and Ireland in general. And they published an article basically on us yesterday to say that we can help companies that are in this current situation. So again, for any companies that are hiring aggressively or having to relocate people from abroad to Dublin, don't be afraid to get in touch. We should be able to help. It is a crazy competitive market at the minute, but we have a solution that can help them immediately, basically. So that's a sales pitch. Get in touch. So they were great. So Colin Gorey did an article on us. So it was brilliant to get that exposure. And everybody's been lovely, writing comments and sharing and liking and yeah, that's been great. Again, more of the same. Again, it's all about attention. It's just attention, trying to grab attention of people. And a brand like Silicon Republic will hopefully help us do that. We've had bits and pieces of inquiries of business already from it, and even people who want to apply for the position now that we have open. And yeah, so that's been great. So hopefully more of the same there. As I said, tomorrow, tonight I have to go and get a wetsuit because I'm doing a triathlon in 2 weeks and I haven't even got the wetsuit yet. So I need to do that tonight. Also helping one of the guys with his application for local enterprise grants that we've just received ourselves. So going to meet him this evening and hopefully be able to help with that. Get the wetsuit, then back home this evening, do a little bit more work. Then tomorrow, a couple of interviews tomorrow morning, and then tomorrow evening I'm meeting with an investment company that I've been touching base with, I suppose, over the last couple of weeks and months. Just again, a bit of a catch up, let them know where we're at. Again, just trying to build that relationship with them if and when we go and look for investment. It's all about relationships, actually. And actually met Richard Barrett from Pundit Arena yesterday as well. Yesterday morning, had a great hour or so with him. I don't follow an awful lot of companies, but I do follow them. I love the work they're doing. I love the way they go about it. And it was very interesting to hear his story and how they came about doing it, and it's brilliant. So all the best to them. I have no doubt that they're going to continue to be a success. They're already a success, and they're expanding massively. So make sure you get on Pundit Arena and follow them, and Instagrams and Twitters and all the rest. So yeah, again, it's all about building relationships with within the industry, and hopefully we can help in any way if they're growing, as I said to Richard yesterday, if they're growing in Dublin, or hopefully in Cork when we start to go further down the line there, we can hopefully help their employees with accommodation. So just trying to provide that little bit of value. So that's where we're at. Again, the podcast, that's 15 minutes. That's not too bad. I squeezed in a lot there. Hope you enjoy it. If you have any feedback or questions or anything at all that you want to get in touch with me with, do. You can get me on LinkedIn. Don't be afraid to private message me. I have a couple of people private message me, and I promise I will get back to you. It's just been crazy busy, and that sort of stuff plays in my mind constantly. So I promise I will get back to you. And yeah, any companies that are stuck for their employees trying to secure accommodation, give us a shout. Thanks again, guys. Have a lovely evening.